Okay, so this is actually probably the hardest, most meticulous piece of our project here. But you can see, I'm trying to pan this out a little bit. So you can see the whole lid. And basically what I've done is at the center, I've drawn on this outer ring here, basically traced around the 4-inch piece of pipe. But what's going to happen is that piece is going to sit here and here. We don't want it to have it go through. So what I've done is taken another ring about a ½ inch inside that, and then we're going to cut that out. And essentially what this is going to do is this is going to act as our wicking chamber, kind of like as the plant gets thirsty, it'll draw water up through the soil from the water from the bottom, and it'll make sense once we get there. But for now, don't sweat it. Just you'll just want it to have those marked. And then there's these little holes outside, and these are going to be 1/4-inch holes that we drill, and we're going to attach the PVC to the barrel with through these 1/4-inch holes with zip ties. Now I've also drawn 2 other holes with 1-inch PVC pipe. So this one you draw around, and then you basically put a 1/4-inch hole inside and outside. And I'm going to put a nice little PowerPoint PDF together so you'll kind of see this pattern. And then I have another one here. And then the third one, this is actually going to be where the water spout goes through. So we're just going to kind of make little holes on our drill on the inside, so it makes it a nice little sturdy piece. So that'll give it support. So you'll have 2 6-inch pieces, or you'll have your 2 6-inch pieces of PVC coming out of these two, and then you'll have the watering spout that goes all the way down to the bottom of your bucket and all the way through the top, and that's where you'll water the plant from. But again, if you put little holes in here, and I'll kind of show you that in a second as well, but if you do, it'll make it nice and snug, and by doing that, this piece will actually provide support as well. So again, I'm going to score the inside ring here with the Dremel tool. Then I'm going to saw it through, and then I'm going to put a bunch of 1/4-inch holes. And then once we do that, this whole piece is actually going to kind of be what we breathe. The plant's going to breathe this piece as well. So then we're almost going to look like we take a shotgun to this, but we're basically going to put a bunch of like 3/8-inch holes all through this whole space as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of dremeling. I'm going to do a little bit of drilling. And then once you see it, I think it'll kind of make sense. And then we'll at least be halfway through our project at that point in time. All right, see you guys in a couple minutes. Okay, so here we go. Since the last time we talked, we have done lots and lots of drilling. So again, if you look at right here, you can see the 1/4-inch holes for the 6-inch in length, 1-inch piece of PVC. There's a hole on the inside and the outside, and that's essentially where the zip ties will cross through. There's 1, and then there's 2 of these, and then here is where the riser will essentially go through. And again, what I usually do is you can kind of see it's very jagged in the fact that instead of cutting it out with a saw or a Dremel tool, what I do is I'll go on the inside edge with a drill, and what this will do is it'll allow a really nice tight fit for when we shove the riser piece through there. Now in the center, you'll also see here's the outer edge, and that's basically the outline of the 4-inch piece. And then I cut the inside in here, and then there's 1/4-inch holes in a crisscross pattern. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll basically go through the hole, so we didn't have to drill the inside holes. So that's the lid right here. And then let me get the 6-inch pieces. So here I basically drilled 1/4-inch pieces, and this is 1/4-inch holes, and this is essentially where the zip ties will go through. So there's 2 of these. And then on the wicking chamber, here you can see now there's holes that go all the way through, 1/2-inch holes that go through all the way through, and you can see that domino pattern, the the checkerboard kind of Ross and Purina. There's one, there's two, there's a center one, then there's top, bottom, center, and then top, bottom, and that's all three sides. And then I also put 1/4-inch holes at the top here in a crisscross pattern, 90 degrees apart, quarter circle, so that we can zip tie this to the bottom of the piece. So at this point in time, let me think about what we're going to do next. I think what we'll do is we'll have to play with the lid a little bit. So, and what I mean by that is because this lid is here, you sometimes have to cut a little bit off. So yeah, like I thought. So what we're going to do is we're going to shave off some of this edge right here so that the lid will go down. So basically, this lid needs to go down until it is essentially about 6 inches off the bottom, so that it rests on the bottom with you can kind of see the bottom of the bucket and the bottom of the or where that wicking chamber and the other support pieces will be. We can zip tie it on, but it's going to be a lot easier to work with it as it is right now. So I'm going to kind of shave off, just use a saw and kind of cut off some of this outer edge so that it'll slip down and go down into the bottom here. So let me go do that, and then I'll come back to you guys in a couple minutes, and then we'll be zip tying it up, and we're pretty close here. So we're at least 2/3 of the way done here now. All right, see you guys in a couple minutes. Bye. Okay, so here I'm back, and you could kind of see now, it took me about 1/3 of the lid, and basically, so here's the outer edge. It's kind of hard to see. There's a good angle right there. We can kind of see where here's the lip. So we have the initial, so let me actually put all this together here so it makes sense. So initially, our bucket top looked like the outer edge, and then there was the outer edge, and we quickly removed that, and essentially that's going to be what you'll put to hold down a piece of plastic to be kind of like your weed guard. And then, so here's the other piece. So again, we had to put this inside the bucket, and with it being the same diameter as the inside of the bucket, it'll never slide down. So basically what I've done was use a Dremel tool again. Hopefully you have that. If so, please be careful. Very fast rotating tool, but definitely a lot of utility for this project here. And by all means, make sure you're wearing safety goggles and watch out for your fingers. And if you're letting children help you, obviously you want to supervise that very well. So, so here's kind of like the piece, and then I just took the Dremel tool along this edge down here, and then now this simply comes out. So now that we have this extra leaf space, we'll be able to put the main tube down in, and then we'll put the this edge first, and then this edge will kind of is a little bit more flexible, and that'll come down, and you'll see how that will fit into the bucket. So right now, what I'm basically going to do is zip tie the tubes to the bucket, and you'll I'm going to zip tie 2 6-inch pieces and then the 4-inch piece right here. Again, all these are 6-inch pieces, and this will all come together here in a couple minutes, and will all make sense. So just hang in there, and we're getting pretty close here.